Yes, finally, welcome back to Canaries Walk. That's a lot better. 3 points in the bag, 3 goals, and a very happy Carrow Road this weekend. Great to have you back with us. Great to finally be able to talk about 3 points for Norwich City. How are you all doing? We've got James, Matty, and Killian back with us this week. Tom is so happy he's taken a holiday from talking about Norwich City this week, but we wish him well. And great tweets this week from Robin says, I think I've fallen in love with Pele Matson. How you're doing? Coming up this week, then, we're going to review that QPR win. Plus, we're talking about the Christmas fixtures. How difficult do they look? We're manifesting the FA Cup third round draw, which takes place next week, of course. And we're up to the letter H in our A to Z of Norwich City. If you just come across the channel, great to have your company this week as we finally get to talk about something positive, Killian. It's been a long time coming, this, but how did you feel around 5 o'clock when that final whistle blew?
I tell you, it was the nicest journey home I've had in a long time. Dreary old trek back to Dublin from Carrow Road after a lot become a habit. So yes, fantastic.
Good stuff.
Experience, yeah.
James, did they deserve it? Were QPR that bad or were Norwich that good? Let's get into the game, shall we?
I think we definitely deserved it. I think that first half. Up until now, we scored. They equalised quite quickly. Under Manning, we would have folded then. I think the next 20 to 25 minutes were absolutely superb. Second half, could we have gone on and kicked on to make 4, 5, 6? Yeah, we had a couple of chances. But at the end of the day, I didn't care how we played. We won. That was just it was a results mattered game yesterday. We could have played awfully, but it doesn't matter. No, we played well, deserved it, and yeah, we needed it.
Let's talk about the manager selection, shall we, a second, Matty. First of all, I mean, that was his starting 11. Dito and others were saying Wright and Christopher Guard still benched, so lots of people were questioning that at the start. Were you, when you heard the starting lineup?
Yeah, that data must be my burner account, because I was thinking the exact same thing, to be honest. I've been calling for Wright to start for ages. Chris Gardens looked promising when he's played. I know that they're managing his minutes, so he's maybe still not quite where he should be fitness-wise. But yeah, I looked at that 11 and thought, oh, there's a couple of changes there that I would have made to it. But that's why I'm sat here doing this on an evening, and he's about Carrow Road, isn't it? So, and to be fair, Forson had a decent game, got his goal. Schwartau played well, so selection was justified, wasn't it?
That Forson goal, we need to. I wish I had it. I wish I had the copyrights to show it on here, Killian. But it was a thing of beauty, wasn't it? I mean, Norwich playing good football again.
Yeah, it's nice to see, and I mean, he's got a great touch when he does shoot. He got two great goals against Coventry, last season. So I mean, he's been out injured, and it was nice to see him come back and score. And you could see how much it meant to him. Like he was so excited having scored that. And I think he was probably a last minute choice to start, given that McCama got sick. I'd say it was a nice surprise to him to be in the starting lineup, and then to get that goal, I think was fantastic for him. And hopefully kick on now and score a few more.
Yeah, it's too early to say, James, isn't it, in terms of what the new manager's implemented. But could you see any difference in style or way he's trying to get them to play in one game?
Yeah, I mean, I also thought we played pretty well against Oxford during the week as well. I think let's not forget about that. I think we were unlucky to not have won that game. I think all we needed was just to put the ball in for a second or third time. I think that the style's not too dissimilar as such. I just think he's got the players believing a bit more. I think it's a confidence aspect more than anything. Birmingham away last week was horrific. I know you guys touched on last week, but actually since then he's got the players. Yeah, just a bit more confidence. Sargent's definitely involved in the game more, which is important. And I think what he's got, I mean, the biggest thing he's done is bring in McConville. And I know Killian's been banging on about him for basically the whole season, but he's come in and he looks brilliant. He played a big part in the first goal. So not style-wise, but said belief and bringing in, I'd say, the right players that we've been calling for however long.
Yeah, here's some more tweets on those kind of lines. LK says, play with that commitment every week and we will do well, Matty. Everyone worked their backside off today. Matson and McLean were immense in that midfield. Yeah, would you use the word immense to describe them?
Yeah, they were pretty good, weren't they? And that's the thing, actually, in terms of what that person's touched on there. I kind of almost feel, listen, everyone wants to play nice football, yeah? Everyone wants to watch an attractive side, play good football, but I think there is a trade-off that fans are willing to take in terms of style of play. And if a team will win more often than it will lose, and it will do it in a trying, as that person said there, working their ass off kind of way, I think fans almost are willing to let a style of football go a little bit if there's that commitment and if you win more than you lose. So to James's point, there wasn't a huge stylistically, there wasn't a huge difference really, but we just looked like we had a bit more belief, and Maatsen and McLean in the middle kind of epitomised that, I think, in terms of their work rate, their decisions. Like Maatsen covered every blade of grass. It was superb. So let's see if we can build on that in terms of that midfield pairing, because Topic is out now for a while, isn't he? And Wright, won't he get more game time? We don't know, but as a starting two in midfield, they both did really well.
Yeah. Okay. One other player we must mention, I know he's a favourite of yours, Callan Fisher. Connor Southwell from the Pink and says he was outstanding today, just as he was in the second half of Tuesday's game. I think it's easy to forget his age and that he's playing out of position, but someone really committed and full-blooded tackles against a difficult opponent in QPR. Yeah, do you agree? And we do forget, don't we, how young he is sometimes, I think, when we get criticised.
He is quite young, and I think one of the things that impressed me most about him, I can't remember what stage in the game it was, but he lobbed the ball out with his left foot. From the left back position, like he's obviously been practicing with his left foot, given that he's been playing on the left, and I think it was great to see that he wasn't always cutting in on the inside. So he's always, to me, been a very strong defender. Obviously, playing out of position, maybe he's been found out a little bit, but he's clearly worked really hard the left back position, and I thought he did really well playing out of position. And it was interesting when Stacey went off. They didn't just naturally move him to right back. They put McConville in there and had the faith to leave him at left back. I think that was quite telling.
Yeah. The rest of the league has started to pick up a little bit here, James. It's starting to sort itself out now, isn't it? Sheffield United picked up a couple of wins and got themselves out of that bottom one. Even Oxford beat your old pals on Friday night. That was probably one game you were cheering for Ipswich, I'm guessing, was it?
No, you can never cheer for them. I think Sheffield United said a couple of weeks ago, Sheffield United were always going to get themselves out of it. I think they've got the players. Wilder as well as a brilliant manager. Obviously bringing in Bamford recently. I think the teams that we need to worry about, Oxford, yes, they beat Ipswich. I think Oxford will really struggle. I don't think they're that good at all. I don't think they've got the experience. Rowett's a good manager, but I think they'll struggle. Portsmouth, again, a couple of injuries. They rely heavily on Murphy, and they're a team we need to be targeting. Swansea, and a team that I think you should keep an eye on is Charlton. Had a good start, but they've had a really, really poor week, and I think that's a team we should be targeting. But we've got a lot of hard work to do. One win doesn't change it, but it certainly helps.
Absolutely. Matty, and the feel-good factor back round Carrow Road, did it feel different going into the stadium half time? Just people believing that this isn't done?
That's a really interesting point actually as well, is because it's mad, isn't it, how you can go. That was our first win at Carrow Road since May, right? Which is bonkers to say. The joy that you sort of see all across from whichever stand you've sort of seen videos from and stuff from Carrow Road, whichever angle, just the joy on people's faces and the sort of elation to just get over the line and get 3 points, which the fact that we haven't won at home all season, even now, it still baffles me. It's a ridiculous thing to be saying. And yet, that kind of sense of achievement, and I think more so relief than anything, was clearly tangible in all three all four stands, obviously, barring the away section. So, I think it's one of them where, as James says, it's not, it's one win. It's not. We're not in by any stretch out of trouble yet. But it's just that little bit of confidence that was needed, and a point. Midweek. Shame it's not 6 points, but 4 points from those two home games isn't to be sniffed at, given how little points we've picked up so far on the season.
I think the minimum was 4 points, wasn't it, from those two games? Should have been 6. Would have loved 6, but 4 was the minimum we needed more than anything.
And I think as well the performances. Sorry, Mark, just on the performances as well. It should have been 6. You're right, Hastings. Like the win the win yesterday was good, but the performance after Birmingham, the performance midweek was a vast improvement, wasn't it? And
Oh, yeah.
a late equaliser, it would have been 6. So I think that's what's given everyone that additional bit of hope. On top of the relief, is that it's actually 2 decent performances at home, and we were worthy of 6 points.
Okay. Nice to hear the goal music again, isn't it?
And actually celebrate it.
I know it gets on your nerves after a while, but yeah. It went 103 times. Right, let's have a look at the still to come. Then we're looking at the Christmas fixtures. We've got we've got manifest in the FA Cup draw. Not we could care less about it, I'm sure, but nevertheless, and we're also putting our A to Z continues for H. Here's the Christmas fixtures then, Killian. I mean, first of all, as a fan, where do you stand on Christmas and football? Some people say, yeah, we have too much of it, and we should have a winter break. But is it your favourite time of year for following Norwich?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good time. It's a good month. There's a lot of travel, but I'm looking forward to all. I'm not going to make the Sheffield United one, but the rest of them I plan to make. So yeah, it's a busy period, and we're straight into it then again on the 4th of January. So it's not 1st of January and the 4th of January. So it's not just what you're showing here. There's 2 very early matches in January as well. So it's it's going to make a big difference to the league, I'd say.
Yeah, because we've got that double with QPR, haven't we? QPR come on the 1st of January.
QPR and Stoke, I think.
Yeah, and then this strange double header, James, with Watford, isn't there? That play them twice. Does that give teams an advantage, you think, playing the same team twice?
Yes and no. I mean, obviously, we've already played them in the Cup this year, and I mean, we battered them. It felt like it obviously only won 2-1, but it works both ways. That's the thing. Look at those fixtures. Every game in the Championship's tough. I think it's just, Sheffield United and Southampton, I'd rather played them probably a month ago, where they're probably thinking the same as us. Preston away, good team. Obviously, just about got past Sheffield Wednesday of the weekend. But for me, the fixture I'm looking at there are Watford away. Can we follow up from last Saturday? And then Charlton home Boxing Day. That's for me is a must win.
Yeah. Matty, do you agree?
Yeah, I would actually. Yeah, I'd take a point against Sheffield United. I know I might seem a bit pessimistic, but I'd take a point there, and I'd probably take a point against Southampton, to be honest. So it's the home games that we're going to be really looking at, isn't it? Both very winnable games. I kind of think we might get something on Saturday at Vicarage Road on the early kickoff. So if we can get, I'm not saying let's go and win every game. Ideally we do, but let's also be real. And we've only just won our first home game of the season, but there is some games there where I look at that fixture list you just had on screen, and there's definitely 2 wins in it for us, potentially 3.
Brilliant. It's good to have you smiling back again, isn't it? Good to see Josh Sargent. Saw the highlights. I saw Josh Sargent smiling again. I don't think I've seen Josh Sargent smile in a couple of months as well. So all good. And weirdly, there was no Ipswich fans in your comments section this week. That all disappeared from somewhere. I'm not sure.
I wonder why that is.
Yeah. I'm not sure why.
What coincidence.
They'll be saying McKenna out again soon, no doubt. They've lost 1 game.
The FA Cup draw takes place next weekend. Norwich, of course, enter it at this stage. I'm not sure whether what your feelings are on the FA Cup, Killian, given what's going on in the league this year. Would you care? Is it a season where you care less about it, or are you always up for the cup?
I think it's an interesting experience to see how we do. I mean, I've seen us too many times draw Liverpool. You
beat them now. You definitely beat them.
That's what I was thinking. Normally that would be the end of our FA Cup run, but here maybe there might be the team to get.
Absolutely, yeah. Which team would you like then, James?
Not Ipswich is the main one, but I think we haven't had a good FA Cup draw probably since Bolton Rovers. So a League 1 or 2 team away from home, just give us something interesting. I'm bored of playing, as Killian said, Liverpool. I think we've had Bournemouth about 3 or 4 times as well. We've had Preston as well. Just League 1 or League 2, game away that I've not been to.
Okay. Nice little Colchester away, something like that, Matty, yeah?
Yeah, do you know, I was just thinking, Hastings and I both based in London, so I'd take a League 1 or a League 2 team that's, there's no easy wins or no easy games in the FA Cup or the old giant killings and everything like that, but I would take a game that's very, very winnable, that's a new ground, that's not too far. I know, I might as well get my Christmas list of Santa started early. But if not, then a League One or a League Two team at home. Just basically anything to give. Because I know people write the FA Cup off, and I think out of all of them, I'd probably do away with the League Cup over the FA Cup. And I think the FA Cup is still special. And I know we've got injury issues, but winning's a habit, isn't it? If we can just put a couple of wins together in the FA Cup, then it just brings that little bit of feel good around the club as well. So I'm all for it, and hopefully we get. Yeah, now you said it, Mark. Let's have Colchester away. Eh?
Culture, yeah. You're right, mate. It's a confidence thing. I think it's just win games of football. Just learn how to win. I think some clubs definitely look down on the FA Cup. Go as far as you can. It'll help, in my opinion. A bit of a run.
But if we were going to get a team that was going to probably beat us, or like a team not in League One or Two, maybe Everton away might be a better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We get a brand new stadium. Come and have a look at it. Yeah. Right. Let us know in the comments who you'd rather have. You know, it's going to be like a Middlesbrough away, don't you, or something like that. It's just how it goes.
I'm going home in January for the Middlesbrough away game.
Like a Swansea away or something.
Right. Okay. A to Z then time. Yeah, with one player per letter of the alphabet who gets in the Hall of Fame for Norwich City. Up to the letter H. This week, I've got my favourite. This is where we get to my favourite Norwich City player of all time. Watching him in the Premier League years, but I'm sure he's going to get a mention. I did reach out to him and email him and ask if he wanted to come on, but I didn't get a reply. Killian, who would you put in here?
Oh, there's a lot of choices with H. You've Huckerby and Holt, but I'll go for the Irish Messi, Wes Houlihan.
Oh, okay. James?
Grant Holt, for me, my favourite Norwich player ever, and also scored a hat-trick against them a lot, so...
Yep. Matty?
Yeah, those all three of those names, they're all legends of the club. Houlihan, as Killian says, the Irish Messi. Hooks is a legend and still loved and adored by those at the club. For me, I would just go Grant Holt, just because a player who comes to us from Shrewsbury for not a lot of money in League One and epitomised what that Lambert team was about, that fight and grit and determination, and went on to score goals for fun in the Championship and then score goals in the Premier League. And I'll never forget him being robbed out of a place in the Euros.
Oh, yeah, 2012.
Yeah, second highest English scorer behind Rooney that year. He didn't get a look into the England team.
Ricky Lambert did, didn't he?
Ricky Lambert did. Yeah, I've still never... Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. But yeah, Grant Holt for me, just pick it. Who was yours then, Mark?
That was Grant Holt, yeah. I mean, I loved watching him just bully defenders. An old-fashioned centre forward who just no prisoners. And even as I've watched him at Everton a couple of times, and whenever he got the ball, you just knew something was going to happen. Not always brilliant, but bruising and
old school.
Yeah,
we could do with him. We could really do with him right now.
Right. Have we missed any H's though? Of course, other than those three. Yeah. Sorry, we'll have to put Holt in. We've got good chance for Houlihan and Darren Huckerby as well, who still works for Norwich, doesn't he? Not, I think some
ambassador role or something. I think.
As does Holt. He's now
okay, right.
The academy.
And I think Wes is still in the area, isn't he, as well, or used to be in the area? I think.
He is still in the area. Yeah, Norfolk.
There you go.
He ran Norfolk or Norwich half marathon or something in a stupid time last year, I'm sure.
It's nice all three of them have got still links to the club in the area.
Right. Next week, though, they need your help because at the moment we'll have to put Ipswich in because there's not many players that have an I in their surname. So beating Ipswich might have to go in, but give us your help in the comments. Who should get in the other Z for I? Right. Enjoy the game then against Watford. We'll see you in 7 days' time to review that. Norwich are on the up. Finally, some good things to talk about. Thanks for joining us.